One of the most important aspects of the pre-engagement scoping process is selecting your targets, target selection. And one thing I want to say right off the bat as we see internal versus external is remember that the target is not always the customer. The customer may be choosing a target and it's not their organization, it's not their headquarters. The target could be on behalf of a customer or a client, but it may be a different location. It may be a partner, a strategic partner of the customer. It may be an organization that's about to go through a merger or an acquisition. So first off, we want to remember that. Also, we want to remember that the target selection process helps us determine what's called the ROM, and this may be on your exam, the rough order of magnitude. So by knowing impact and magnitude of the pen testing, we have to understand the different targets, and that's a big part of scope. So the ROM value has to be established for the project. Internal versus external, so obviously this is going to be inside behind the firewalls, maybe inside the private corporate data center, or if it's external, it may be in the customer's public or private cloud, at a cloud service provider, or some other strategic partner. Is it going to be on-site or off-site? Is it done at the headquarters first, and then you go to all the branch offices, all the remote offices? Let's say it's an auto parts chain. Do you start with the headquarters and then go to all of the other branch chain outlets throughout the metropolitan area? Is it going to be in one municipality? Is it going to be statewide, or is it going to go interstate, or is it going to go international? Those are very important aspects to selecting the target. The scope also, will include how many different sites, and of course that'll tie into the budget and costs. And if you're traveling, there's travel costs, there's putting the testers up into hotels, expensing food items, all those types of things. So all of the expenses go into the selection of internal versus external, on-site versus off-site. Is it a first-party test done for the organization itself, so the target and the client are the same? Or, for example, is it a third-party hosted at a service provider? Is it servers that are up at a service provider or an ITSP? Or again, like I said, in a public or private subnet up in a virtual private cloud at Amazon Web Services? And we understand with those cloud providers like IBM Cloud, the pen tester may or may not be able to actually do the test, or there may be various levels of authorization and paperwork that must be filled out. And typically, if it is allowed, it's only on a certain number of services or certain components of the cloud provider. The pen tester should know if you're going to be testing physical targets and or virtual targets. So do you have virtual servers deployed with VMware or Zen or